Hello and welcome to the inside of a new Ford Ranger Raptor. As you can see, I'm driving on the road, which is not really what this car is built for, but ironically, the same things which make it great off-road actually make it very good on-road. I've just driven Ranger XLT, I've just driven Ranger Wildtrak, and this is the best Ranger to drive on tarmac. I don't know, that doesn't seem to make sense, but it is. This car offers the best ride quality, and even those knobbly tires aren't actually loud at all. But I think to exploit this car, to really see what it can do, you got to take it off-road. You got to find some sort of off-road playground. So I've had an idea. I don't consider myself terribly short, but when I stand next to a Raptor, I feel like a Smurf. And that's because the Raptor rides 50 mils taller than your standard Ranger. And many elements you're seeing here are bespoke to the Raptor. The front bumper, that's completely bespoke to the Raptor, and it's designed to give you a better approach angle. These tires developed for the Raptor. Those 17-inch rims house bigger brakes developed for the Raptor. This fender, that's a composite material, and they had to do that because they needed to really flare the front fenders, and that's because the track of the Raptor is 150 mils wider than a standard Ranger. You're not going to get that with a fake Raptor kit. Moving down the side of the car, these magnesium alloy running boards really look the business. And then of course on all four corners of the car, the real star of the show, and that's the suspension. At the back you get a Watts linkage setup, and that gives you better lateral control. But the dampers here, those are sourced from Fox Racing. They were developed over tens of thousands of kilometers for this car, only for the Raptor. And those are what give this car its unique abilities. Remember when the Amarok came out with a 2-liter and everyone was like, you know, it also comes in 2 liters, milk and Amaroks. Well, now the Ranger Raptor is a 2-liter bi-turbo, 157 kilowatts, 500 newton meters of torque. And yeah, maybe it should have a V8. But screw it, petrol's bloody expensive. I don't want a V8 petrol bakkie, are you mad? And the reality here is that your peak torque figure of 500 newton meters comes in at 1500 RPM. That's really low. There's a clever sequential turbo setup here. Let me not go off the cliff. One smaller than the other, spins up a little faster. At high speed, it'll bypass that smaller turbo as well. And that means that there's very little turbo lag. Very little at all. Very linear power delivery.
Let's take a brief break from all the slidey action because I'd like to show you the interior. Ford have added lots of things which say Raptor to make you feel better about spending all this extra money on a Ranger. And to be honest, it works. I really like the steering wheel with its red detail, and I really like the seats. They are a great blend of comfiness and supportiveness. And of course there are the driving modes. Buyer mode, or Badger, was developed specifically for this car. And let's just say it's a traction control system which helps you have the most fun possible in your Raptor.
Puddle! Puddle! For me, the gearbox here should get a Best Supporting Actor Oscar, because this new 10-speed which Ford developed in partnership with General Motors, which is a little bit weird. It's like Manchester United developing a player in partnership with Chelsea. Maybe they do that, I don't know, I don't watch football. But it is a great box out on the road. You barely know it's there, and that for me is what you want from a gearbox. And out here, I mean, I've got flappy paddles, but I'm leaving this thing in full auto, and it just feels like it's always in the right gear, even for doing bonkers stuff like this. And it almost feels like they've tuned this gearbox to help you drift. I really like that. The thing about the Raptor is that as good as it is at going fast, it's really good at going slow. It's got full low range, and it really does give you the confidence to tackle just about anything. So when you aren't trying to do off-road driving at 200 kilometers an hour and just do some normal driving, it really does give you the confidence to do just about anything. And I think that is the mark of a good 4x4. Drifting into a puddle. Oh!
Sure, so maybe you could do all of this in a normal bakkie, but the difference with the Raptor is that you feel like you'll never ever break the thing, no matter how hard you try. The quarry was enjoyable, but even so, I couldn't experience the Raptor's most spectacular talent here. For that, we would ideally need some sand.
But we've come to the dunes because we want to jump this thing. That is what really sets this bakkie apart from everything else on the market. Okay guys, I'm in position. Are you ready for me?
Ready?
Okay, here we go. Oh, this car is amazing! This car is amazing! I know that's what it's designed for. Oh my god, my adrenaline is through the roof. My legs are like jelly. It's hard to describe how well the suspension setup works off-road. And where this car really impresses is on gravel and poor surfaces. It just absorbs everything. Out here in the sand, I mean, it's just epic, really. And look at that, absolutely effortless. And one of the reasons why the suspension works so well is because they've really softened the rear to give you extra stability. So not only do you have that wider track giving you extra stability, you have this much softer rear suspension, and there is a downside to that. You lose about 400 kgs of carrying capacity, and instead of being able to tow 3.5 tons like you can in a normal Ranger, you can only tow 2.5, which to me is a pretty small price to pay. I mean, how much does your caravan weigh, And even the lengths they've gone to, the exhaust back box, the exhaust actually ends before the rear diff. So you maximize that departure angle as well. And of course you're 50 mils taller, so your breakover angle is better. I mean, this thing is just built for this. This thing will do this all day. I jumped this thing for the cameras about 8 times, and not a squeak, not a rattle, not a complaint. I never felt like I hurt the car. It is epic. Woo! If you don't mind, I need to take a little bit of a moment here to let my adrenaline leave my body. And while I'm doing that, let me take you over the price of the Raptor. So $786,400 is what you're going to have to pay for this. There's pretty much no options on that. Everything you see here is what you get. And that is quite a lot of money. But when you compare it to one of those, which retails for 973,000 Rand, and the test unit we have is spec'd to about 1.1 million, well then, yeah, the Raptor actually starts to seem reasonable. And I'm pretty sure you can't ramp an X-Class.
This is a remarkable machine. It is a performance pickup, and I think it's going to redefine what the public thinks bakkies can do and how they're marketed. Toyota has already launched the Hilux GR Sport, which has racing stripes, and Isuzu has launched a D-Max with Fox shocks. Game on.
Hello, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you used your data to watch this video, we salute you.